made some very good connections, as well as you get some good information to help you secure the government contract, right? The information I'm going to share is very important but often overlooked by the business owner. So wherever you're sized at for your business right now, it will be a valuable information that at some point, or maybe right now, you will need it. And I'll make it fun, so it's not like, I don't know what you're talking about after this. I promise you will have a very good idea. So a little bit about myself. I graduated from UCLA, and I got my license 2003. So I've been in the business for 22 years. When I was 5 years old, I got my license, okay? I have a team of over 70 licensed agents. We're over 10 states. And we represent over hundreds providers, so not one single company. We have a mission, no family left behind, and no business left behind. We want to make sure through education, people, businesses owners or families are more knowledgeable so that you can make educated decisions into whatever you're going to do. So 58% of the small businesses owners, they don't have a succession planning. There are 5.5 million families own small businesses. 30%, they will survive to the second generation. 12% will survive to the third generation. And only 3% will survive to fourth or more generation, right? You build something, do you want it to last? Only 23% of the family-owned business have actual documented succession planning. So I want you to think about this. A few questions. In your business, do you have a key person? How many businesses have a key person? Okay. You are the keyest person, right? And oftentimes your business also have other key person. What if your key partner or executive pass away or become disabled? Could your business continue operating without disruption? Right? Does your financial leadership showing continuity plan so that the lenders and then the government agency can tell that your business is built to last? So if anything happens, you still can deliver the contract. Have you identified and protect the individual critical to deliver your government contract in your business? They will ask you that question. If you lose your key executive, does that hurt your chance of winning or delivering a contract or maybe renewing your contract? What if you could use some tool to reduce the risk and make your company more attractive to funders and also contract officers, right? So I'm going to share 3 major business continuation plans: buy-sell agreement, key person, executive bonus. And I'll talk a little bit about window dressing and how to make it look more attractive. So I'll share with you a story about a buy-sell agreement. SecureNet Integration. It's a 40-person veteran-owned IT consulting firm in Virginia, specializing in cybersecurity infrastructure for defense and government agency. The firm is 50-50% owned by 2 partners, Tom Garrett, business strategist, lead negotiator for government contract, Luis Mendoza, CTO, head of implementation and compliance with DoD security protocol. They have no formal buy-sell agreement, and the business has grown very fast. From a $2 million revenue shop going to winning multiple million contract with a federal contract under service disabled veteran-owned small business status. In 2024, Louis died in a car accident. He had no will, so his ownership interest passed to the wife, who had no IT experience and no security clearance. The largest federal client, a $6 million multi-year cybersecurity contract, froze payment, pending reassess eligibility. Louis's wife wants to honor her husband's legacy, but insists on keeping the 50% stake, even though she couldn't contribute. With no buy-sell agreement and no life insurance funding, Tom couldn't afford to buy her out. Legal conflict ensued, employee morale dropped, and then 2 upcoming bids was dropped because of the internal instability. By the end of 12 months, SecureNet lost its preferred contract status and shrank to 18 employees. So the simple missing piece, right? If they would have set up a buy-sell agreement funding with a life insurance, Lewis's wife would get $2 to $3 million cash, and Tom could have regained 100% of the ownership cleanly. The firm could have retained the SDVOSB status and continue uninterrupted performance. So, how's your business will operate when you have this kind of event happen, right? So there's some major risk when you or your key person that have a death or illness or exit unexpectedly. You could have forced liquidation in some cases, or ownership dispute, unintended heir become partner, right? How many of you wanted to be in business with your partner's spouse and fail to deliver a contract that you do want to? Sometimes people say we're very close, me and my partner, we're all families very close, right? The minute it starts to deliver with you start to work with a partner's spouse, things change, right? So, there are times that people, I see businesses, they already have buy-sell agreement, but it was not funded. So they have agreement, but it wasn't funded. So when things happen, where is the money coming from? And there are vice versa. There are businesses, they buy insurance because the insurance agent say, you need to buy insurance to protect the business. Okay, that makes sense. Then they buy insurance, but there's no agreement in place. Then the value can cause litigation later on. So it's very important. And sometimes business have both, but they don't review it. Their business value grow too fast, but they don't review it. So it was 2.5 years ago, they had all these planning. Guess what? The business value increases, right? So you have to review that and revisit that. Okay? So the next part, I'm going to talk about key person. How many of you heard of key person buy-sell agreement, just out of curiosity? Okay, 1. How many of you actually have them in place? Can I see? Nobody? See, that's an overlooked industry, but it's very important, right? If you are the keyest person, you also need to know. Otherwise, how are you going to preserve the value of your business that you work so hard for? By the time that you're gone, your business has no more value. Don't you think so? So do you want your heir to inherit that value? So key person, I'm going to tell you another story. Civil Core System. It's a 30-person IT consulting firm based in Maryland, specializing in custom software and database integration for state and local government. Marcus Reed is a co-founder and chief solution architect. Marcus has 20 years experience working with government RFP and was the only person in the company authorized to certify security document, liaise with agency IT leads, and manage scope changes under federal compliance rules. The contract in early 2023, Civil Core won a $3.6 million 3-year state contract to modernize DMV's backend infrastructure. Marcus was listed as a technical lead in the bid. His signature and resume were tied to the award. The unexpected event, 6 months into the contract, Marcus suffered a sudden heart attack and passed away. There was no key person insurance, no secondary authorized technical lead, and no pre-documented process for transferring federal compliance responsibilities. So the domino effect, the DMV project came into halt within 2 weeks. The agency issued a cure notice, followed by a contract termination for cause. Civil Core became ineligible to bid on new contract for 12 months due to breach of contract. The word spread among procurement officers. Their pipeline of pending bids all dried up. Within 9 months, Civil Core laid off 60% of its team. What could have saved the company? A $1 million key person insurance on Marcus could have provided the cash to hire the new interim leadership and subcontractor to work. They can cover the penalties to help regenerate the performance term and preserve their vendor performance score and keep them eligible for future bids. You cannot really replace the person. You cannot replace the key person. However, you can preserve the financial value that key person brings to your business. So, some takeaway for the government contractors, right? The government buyer expect continuity, not excuses. I was just talking to one of the metro officers. He said, it's not that we're not reasonable, but government, they don't listen to excuses. They don't really care sickness, that they need it to be delivered, it needs to be delivered, right? Your key technical expert may not be replaceable, right? But their financial value can be protected. And you can use that key person protection to buy in more time and stability so that your business can survive the unexpected. So here's a graph showing the chain effect of losing a key person. You can have operation disruption, you can have project delays, you can have the legal dispute among the heirs or surviving partners. You can lose contracts, you can lose the lender confidence. And revenue, you can decline without the proper planning, right? Lose opportunities or canceled contracts. And business values, how attractive it is for a lender or investor that your business is not stable. This all can be solved simply with a proper planning ahead. So who is your key person? If you're the owner, you are the keyest person. If your business have vital knowledge holder, right? If you have client relation anchor, if somebody only like them because they are the face of your business, project manager, superintendent, if that person is no longer there, your business will be disrupted. Those are all the key person for your business. So you can have different strategies to protect, right? Set up a buy or reserve account. You can have an installment sale or promissory note, or you can fund it with a life insurance. And sometimes it doesn't have to be very expensive life insurance. Even just a term with living benefit can get your key person protected while you're running the business. Each owner can insure for its ownership stake, and the death benefit can provide the liquidity. Disability buyout policy can also be layered into. So I talked about this earlier, right? When you have a contract, earlier did you hear they say we want a specific, who is the person on tied into the contract, right? And what if anything happened? So sometimes you receive a contract for 1 year or 2 years with an optional extension for another 2 years, right? So can you renew that contract? So how can you make it look more attractive? What if that key person have anything happen? With that key person insurance, you can make it look more attractive. It adds on the financial stability and also showing the continuity in your planning. The next one, I'm going to talk about the third one, right? Executive bonus. I'll tell you a story about a construction company. So a lot of construction company today, right? So Atlas Infrastructure Group, it's a regional construction firm in Texas, certified as disadvantaged business enterprise and 8A contractor, specialized in municipal roads, government building, and airport expansion. They held multiple ongoing contracts with TXDOT, USACE, and county government. Rick Alvarez, their senior project superintendent, had 30 years of field experience, and he can run a 30-man site like a clockwork. He can coordinate with city inspector, engineer, and subcontractor under the tight federal timeline. Translate project spec into site action with minimal error. He was the only trusted person to manage the $22 million city county jail expansion project. he was not a shareholder, but he was the face of the execution. In 2023, Rick started to talk about retirement. A national contractor offered him a part-time consulting role with better hours and no boot on the ground pressure. Atlas panicked. If Rick left at the mid of the project, right, it's a long project, big project, they would face major change order and delayed penalties. Rick lose pre-qualification for future municipal contracts. They can also lose the confidence of contracting officer they spend years of building. They lose the trust. So they talked to the CPA. Solution, the CPA recommended an executive bonus plan. How many of you heard of executive bonus plan and know exactly what it is? Executive bonus plan, here is how they structured it. It is funded with a permanent life insurance. Atlas paid $30,000 a year premium on a cash value life insurance owned by Rick. So Rick could access the cash value tax-free in the future years. A vesting schedule ensures full benefit only if he stayed 5 or more years. Rick's family would get $1.5 million tax-free death benefit no matter what. So the outcome, Rick chose to stay through the full contract terms, and he agreed to mentor 2 new superintendents. Atlas regained its DBE labor stability, and they delivered the project on time. They later secured a $15 million city firehouse project, thanks to Rick's legacy planning ahead. So what is the takeaway? You can't replace 30 years of field wisdom with a handshake and a raise. When you have an executive bonus program in place, you can retain the top talent without giving up the ownership, right? One of the executive bonus you can do is it's a tax deduction for the business as well. So you can use the pre-tax money to fund the executive bonus program. The money can grow inside the policy, tax-free. Executive can take it out tax-free. And later on, if the executive passes away, they can leave to their heir at their choice, income tax-free, if it's within the state tax limitation. It provides executive a long-term wealth protection. It is a golden handcuff. You can put a vesting schedule onto the executive bonus. You can be confidential and selective. Sometimes we want to offer benefits to our employee. If you offer medical, or if you offer retirement 401k, you cannot discriminate. You have to offer for everybody. With executive bonus, you can handpick the person that you want to offer. So, for example, some of the executive are very important. Sometimes we also see business owner place family members as an executive in the business, so that you can use that pre-tax dollar. Just keep in mind, if you're S Corp, if you're the owner yourself, you cannot have that tax deduction, okay? So that's an executive bonus because it's a pass-through entity. If it's an S Corp owner yourself, you cannot say, can I use that so I can get tax benefit? You do not get tax benefit for the deduction. However, you can use that method to remove yourself from the income tax system moving forward, because all the money inside is completely tax-free. There's no capital gain tax. You can access it without age limitation. It helps secure the contract, right? It looks nice that you have a plan that your key person, your executive who delivered contract, whose name is on the contract, is not leaving for the next 5 years or whatever year that you put on the contract. You can also use double bonus. So when you give this bonus to your employee, when you offer this bonus to your employee, it is a bonus for them. So they pay tax, income tax. How about you structure it in a double bonus? The employer or the owner can pay the tax money to the employee so that they don't have to pay the tax. Now, both the bonus and then the tax money are 100% tax write-off for the business. Okay. When you combine with the life insurance, it provides a tax-free growth to the executive, tax-free withdrawal. It covers critical illness, long-term care, protection, as well as death benefit to the heir tax-free. It essentially acts as a retention tool and then succession solution. It can be very attractive to the government agency, demonstrate employee retention strategy. You have a multi-year contract opportunity will increase with the executive bonus and build confidence in the project delivery. Okay. So the last, I'm going to cover a little bit about window dressing and then lender readiness. Window dressing is essentially legal financing polishing. Show your business in the best light, right? Key areas that you can polish. You want to make sure you have strong management bio, audited financial statement, and clear standard operating procedures, and well-documented succession planning. Lenders would like to see you have key person continuity and stable cash flow, as well as the risk mitigation. So summarize it, right? How do you protect your business? Through the key person insurance, you can have the owner as the company, the key person as an insured, and the beneficiary is the company. So if anything happens, the money goes back to the company. You can have a knowledge transfer system, retention plan through executive bonus, equity vesting, and golden handcuff. And make sure that you have the buy-sell agreement. And make sure your buy-sell agreement is properly funded. I have a few information that I covered. Oops. Right? If you want a little bit more information on what we talked about, I'll leave them right here. We have a key person. And this one talks about executive bonus, if you want the information on. And it's all about business, have all the other ways of planning that we're not going to cover today. Split dollar, all the different ways that you can structure. So these are valuable information that you can take. And then it's all up front that you're welcome to take away. And then the next action step, right? First of all, identify if you have a key person in your business. Make sure that you start working on a buy-sell agreement, that you have that in place. And you can review the financial and succession document. And I'm happy to sit down with you if you have a specific question. And if you want to see what it looks like for your business, you can scan the barcode, and that's my contact information for further questions that you have. So that concludes what I want to share. And I saved an additional 10 minutes for you, right? And thank you for being here. Nice to meet you, all of you.